This boy didn't know about back on another video. Say, man, we got boxing. I'm not sold on Abdullah Mason yet, bro. I'm not sold on him. It is a lot of flaws in his boxing game right now. First of all, he don't even box. He fights, which is cool. Everybody likes a fighter. He's athletic. He's smooth. He got top 5 punch variety of boxing. He's a sharpshooter, and he got power and speed, punch placement, all that. But say, man, he's all O, no defense, man. If y'all like the boxing content, please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my social medias. If y'all got me a boxer that y'all want me to look into, I'm not an expert, but hey, I've been watching boxing 20 years at this point, so I kind of know what I'm looking at from at least just from my fan point of view. But Abdullah Mason, he's scheduled to fight Ornales. He was supposed to fight Giovanni Cabrera, which everybody was looking forward to because Cabrera has been in there with Pitbull Cruz. He's been in there with Zepeda. Those his only 2 losses. And now he's fighting Ornales, who's a smaller guy. And his only notable fight was against Espinoza. He doesn't have a higher knockout ratio than Cabrera, but he's a smaller guy, 5'6", 67-inch reach, versus Cabrera, who was 5'9", with a 71-inch reach, and Abdullah Mason is 5'9" with 74-inch reach. So that was a closer in skill level and size wise. So that's why everybody was more excited for the Cabrera fight. And now that he's fighting Ornales, nobody really is really caring anymore. So I thought this was the perfect time to do this video. Now, I like Abdullah Mason. I watched his documentary on Top Rank. Him, his brothers, his father. They seem like a great family. He seemed like a great young dude. But he has a lot to work on, man. I wanted to talk about 3 fights in particular. His last 2 fights, which was against James and Vasquez, and then he had a fight against Villagra. So I'm gonna start with the Villagra fight. He showed exactly what was gonna happen if he ever fought a puncher. Villagra was able to hit Abdullah way too much. Like, Abdullah in that fight against Villagra, he was trying to hit him with the uppercut, but he dropped his opposite hand and he got caught a few times. Just Villagra just didn't have the power that Vasquez ended up having. And when Vasquez ended up hitting him with those punches that Villagra hit him with, he got dropped. So the Villagra fight was the first fight I've seen from Abdullah where I was like, ooh, I really don't like this. He's getting hit a little bit too much. And it showed weaknesses. So Abdullah, great offensive game. If I compare it to some basketball stuff, it's like, yeah, he can score, but he don't play no defense. He can't be scored on. Abdullah Mason keeps his head on the line, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. He keeps his head on the line. He's very hittable. And I think outside of the James fight, most of these fights are fights. Abdullah hasn't hardly ever boxed. Now, his latest fight against James, which was post Vasquez, it was a great fight for Abdullah. But the Villagra fight showed the weaknesses. The Vasquez fight exploited the weaknesses. And also in the Vasquez fight, I know I'm jumping around, but it's just coming out how it come out. The Vasquez fight, everybody knew Vasquez had power. So we understand that Abdullah Mason was going to get tested. He was going to get hit, and he got dropped twice. He got wobbled a few times. And my whole thing was, he's a power puncher. You should have turned that to a boxing match until you could fight on your terms. He showed bad fighting IQ, ring IQ, by fighting a fighter who couldn't box. You box a fighter and you try to fight a boxer. So, I mean, Vasquez, those 2 knockdowns on Abdullah, one was when Abdullah was trying to hit him with an uppercut. He threw it out of position. He dropped his opposite hand and he got caught. That left hook from Vasquez was pretty much there the whole fight until. And I do want to say this because a lot of people were saying, man, if Vasquez didn't get hurt, that would have been, man, Abdullah hurt him. We're not going to do that. Abdullah has devastating power. We seen it. He got great speed, great accuracy, great punch variety. But it's the defense. My biggest problem with Abdullah, why he's not ready for the top guys, his defense is not good, bro. He has C-level defense, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. He keeps his head on the line. His head movement is terrible. He blocks a couple shots, but he also takes a lot of shots, man. That Vasquez fight was kind of scary for me to watch because it's like, ooh, because he gonna get in there with a dude that's gonna knock his ass out, bro. Because he already fought James, what's his name? James at I think it was at 137, the contracted weight. I don't know if that was due to James or if that was due to Abdullah. Feel free to comment in the comment section. But at 137, I think Abdullah's gonna eventually end up at the 147s, the 140s, and of course, I think his powers go travel. But say, man, it's gonna be bigger punches, bigger punchers the more you move up. So he has to tighten up his defense, bro. He's not ready. Stop saying it. Everybody I respect in boxing is super high on Abdullah, and I'm trying to get there with him, but their defense is holding me back. I can't get there with the defense, bro. I'm sorry. Abdullah's defense is bad. The Villagra fight, the defense was bad, but it couldn't get exploited because Villagra wasn't a big puncher. He did those same mistakes against Vasquez, and Vasquez knocked him down twice and wobbled him several times. So I'm worried about his defense, and I am worried about his chin. But the only reason why I think his chin will stand up is because he is in great shape. Great shape. He bounced up from those knockdowns like it was nothing. But those shots hurt, especially that second knockdown from Vasquez. Those shots hurt. And every time he got wobbled, it wasn't just all off balance. Oh, I was off balance. I was trying to throw. I got caught. And those was flash knockdowns. He said those was flash knockdowns, which they kind of were. But those shots hurt, bro. All right, I'm just going to keep it up. And he needs to quit hiding behind trying to give people an exciting fight. You going to have to go out there and box, dog. Because, hey, y'all, I get it. Abdullah Mason could knock out anybody he fights. That's true. But once he fights somebody that could also knock him out, it's going to be a good chance where he gets knocked out because he doesn't have a better defense than the next guy. For example, if he fight Keyshawn Davis will knock him the hell out because Keyshawn Davis is a better boxer than Abdullah Mason. They both can fight. Let's just keep it a buck. Abdullah is one of the best fighters in boxing, but he's not one of the best boxers in boxing. I'm sorry. That's why I'm so big on Shushu. People say whatever they want about the Suleiman fight, but once Shushu realized he couldn't just get Sagawa out of there, he started outboxing him. A lot of people say Sagawa got robbed. Miss me with that shit, man. Shushu outboxed him. He was catching a lot of those punches. Like he was swatting those jabs. He was weaving and showing good head movement on those hooks. He was working on the inside. I thought Shushu won that fight. But Abdullah, who does he outbox? Because, okay, let's look at 135. I don't think he outboxes Keyshawn. And he can knock out Keyshawn. But I think Keyshawn is a good enough boxer and also a good enough puncher to where I just favorite Keyshawn in that fight right now. And I'm not saying Abdullah doesn't have room to grow. Of course he got room to grow. I don't think what is he, like 20? So he has room to grow, but I don't want everybody to set his expectations so high like he can't be beat. Because that's another thing why a lot of people don't take a lot of fights. Because you get hyped up so much that if Abdullah looks human like he did against Vasquez, people like, but he didn't get a lot of blowback for getting knocked down twice and getting wobbled several times because he did end up, you know what I'm saying, putting Vasquez out. So he injured Vasquez, then he put him out. But My thing is Abdullah defense is just is nowhere near contender status, man. I know he's highly ranked in these sanctioning bodies, but that Cabrera, maybe that was the best thing that happened to him, man. Him having to fight Ornelas and Cabrera getting injured and not being able to fight Cabrera. I guess that's what I'm saying. Long story short, but I like Abdullah. I like what he stands for. I like the family he comes from. His dad seems he's real cool stand up guy. They seem like stand up guys. But their defense, long story short, his defense is not there, bro. His defense is borderline bad. It's borderline bad. He keeps his head on the line. He dropped those uppercuts is vicious when they land, but they're so telegraphed, bro. And I'm not trying to shit on Abdullah because I need Abdullah to be the star that he can be. But in order for that to happen, he has to work on that defense. Imagine him fighting Gary Antoine Russell, bro. Gary Antoine Russell will knock him the hell out at 140. Because I think that's where he's going to end up. Because I don't know who gives him a shot at 135. I'm just going to keep the buck. I don't know who gives Abdullah a shot at 135 unless it's Keyshawn. And even if he fight Tank, even if he fight Shakur, all the champions at 135, I think, beat Abdullah right now. So I don't know. He got a better chance of beating some of them dudes at 140. Who got the belts at 140? I think Gary Antoine Russell, Richardson Hitchens. Who else got the belts at 140? Who else got belts at 140? I can't think right now. I think T.O. Richardson Hitchens, Gary Antoine Russell. Oh, and Puello. Those are all tough fights, bro. Those are all tough fights. Because we seen what Puello did to Gary Antoine Russell when Gary Antoine Russell just tried to walk down Puello. So, I don't know. Abdullah Mason has a lot to work on defensively. Offense is there. But just like in basketball, right now, he don't look like a two-way player. He look like he's only good on one side of the ball. And I'm just keeping it a buck. Now, the Ornelas fight, a lot of people are disappointed, including myself, because I wanted to see what he'd do against a guy in Cabrera who has fought Pitbull Cruz, has fought Zepeda, those his only losses. A guy that was going to have a weird, wonky style. I want to see how Abdullah deal with that. But now he got Ornelas, who was a smaller guy, whose only notable fight was a Espinoza loss, and Espinoza was a featherweight. So we just going to have to see what happens with Abdullah. And I'm rooting for his success. But we also got to quit building him up so high. And we got to quit acting like we just want to see him fight. I want to see him box. Because those two knockdowns, getting wobbled several times against Vasquez, if you replace Vasquez with a Gary Antoine Russell, with a Keyshawn Davis, with a Tank Davis, they knock him the fuck out. Now, I ain't saying Abdullah can't knock them out, but I don't know. The Vallejo fight showed the red flags. Vasquez, he capitalized off those red flags. And then the James fight is what I want to see more of from Abdullah. Abdullah in the James fight, the jab was beautiful. That was actually just a perfectly executed fight. Even though he still got hit with some punches here and there, James didn't fight enough on the inside. He seemed scared. He stayed at mid-range, got picked apart. But if you could get in range against Abdullah, you can hit Abdullah. And that's my biggest problem I have with him, his defense. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but I just don't think he's ready right now. He's not ready right now. I'm just going to keep it above. I know everybody love Abdullah. I love Abdullah, what he could be. But right now, man, maybe it's best he didn't get the Cabrera fight. Maybe it's best he knocked the hell out of Ornelas in April and keep working on his defense. Their defense need work, man. Because I personally, right now, don't think he's ready for a title shot at 135. That's basically what I'm getting to. Maybe not even at 140, but I think he would have more success at 140 than at 135. Because I don't know who he beats. I don't know who he beats at 135. And maybe, let me look at the contenders at 135 real quick. And then, I want to see 135. I want to see who are some other contenders at 135 because he does need bigger fights too. So okay, 135. So you got Tank, Lomachenko, Shakur, Keyshawn, Zapata, Roach, Andy Cruz, Frank Martin, Martell, Abdullah. Maybe a Frank Martin fight, but even Frank Martin might be a bit much. I just don't know, man. Put him in there with some guys that done fought some guys to where he has to work on his defense, but they also pack a little sting, man. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Abdullah Mason, his trajectory. What do y'all think he is the future face of boxing? I think he has a lot to work on, bro. Just like I'm not a big fan of Nakatani being a pound for pound guy. Inoue is a pound for pound guy, I guess. Not really, but just his track record and his all the undisputed, it's hard to leave him out of that just based off resume. But bam, like these guys, man, say dog, I don't know, bro. Abdullah Mason, just like even Boots can kick ass, bro. But I want to see him get back to boxing. I want to see him box more. We gotta quit trying to act like these dudes are just supposed to be Terminators out there. Get back to boxing, bro. And I want to see Abdullah Mason box more. But this boy didn't know about. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Maybe I'm just talking, but I'm just saying, Abdullah, gotta get that defense together. But this boy didn't know about. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can live comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.